The population I chose today was African American older adults in society. Starting off is economic status. According to 2020 profile of African American age 65 and older employment. In 2020, 962,000 of African Americans aged 62 and older were in the labor force. 20.7% were men and 16.4% were women. This is compared to 10.6 million of all older adults aged 65 and older, which was 23.9 were men and 15.8 were women. Income and poverty. In 2019, a household containing families headed by African Americans aged 65 and older reported a median income of 51,743. This is compared to 70,254 for all older households. The median personal income for older African American men was 25,106 and 18,214 for older African American women. The comparable figures for all older persons were 36,921 for men and 21,815 for women. The poverty rate in 2019 for African Americans aged 65 and older was 18%, double the rate of 8.9 for all older Americans. Health. According to 2020 profile of African Americans aged 65 and older, in 2018, the top five leading causes of death for African American men aged 65 and older were heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, and chronic lower respiratory disease. The top five causes for older African American women were heart disease, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, and diabetes. According to NAACP, Black women are 40% more likely to die of breast cancer than white women. Black Americans are 80% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes than whites, nearly twice as likely to be hospitalized. Blacks are more than twice as likely as whites to suffer from Alzheimer's than any other kinds of dementia. Also, according to Health and Healthcare of African American older adults, in 2002, black males who lived to the age of 65 had a life expectancy of 79.6 years, and black women who lived to the age of 65 had a life expectancy of 83.0 years. Social supports. According to Stanford Medicine, much of the research on informal networks, church supports, and the extended family in the Black community was done in the early to mid 1980s. Intergenerational family support and support from the extended family has been the hallmark of healthcare in the African American community. Formal and informal support are used by both whites and blacks in the need of help. However, Black have more active support networks with mechanisms in Black families that serve to expand network membership through creation of fictive kin. Family support behavior among Blacks is grounded in respect for each generation. Among older African Americans, much of the support is a result of socioeconomic factors, although cultural tradition is persuasive in caregiving to parents, siblings, and other relatives. Studies have shown high levels of social interactions and strong emotional bonds between elderly Blacks and their extended families, which is facilitated by the presence of an older adult child in the proximity to immediate family and relatives. Arrangements. Sorry. According to the Health and Healthcare of African American adult older adults, African American women were more likely to live alone. In 2004, 24% of African American older women lived with their spouses. 33% lived with other relatives, and 2% lived with non-relatives, while 41% lived alone. For African American older men, 56% lived with their spouses, 13% lived with other relatives, 5% lived with non-relatives, and 27% lived alone. This slide is cultural values and beliefs regarding health. I will not read all of these because this really wasn't a requirement, but I thought it was kind of cool. Um, but this is some beliefs that they have. It does say that according to cultural sensitive healthcare African Americans, that these beliefs, um, not not all of them believe in this, but here's a few of them. The four major causes of natural illnesses are cold, dirt, improper diet, and improper conduct. Natural illnesses occur when a person fails to monitor or manipulate the bodily process correctly. The body is then unprepared to defend itself against the forces of nature, which I agree with. This next slide is cultural values and beliefs regarding healing. This is how this this slide basically means this is what they believe is how they heal when they do get sick. According to culture sensitive healthcare, African American grannies, herbalists, and physicians healers are classified according to the origin of their healing power. Those who receive their power through learning, such as the granny, herbalist, or medical physician, have the lowest statue because of the belief that anyone may learn a healing trade. So these are like doctors. And then, according to the culture sensitive healthcare African American, spiritual healers, higher in status, are those who receive their gift during a profound religious experience. These are likely to be ministers who heal during regular church services involve prayer, laying of hands, and the use of holy oil or holy water with supernatural powers. I can finish reading that, but this is also during church or religious. And this is the aging process and acceptance of health, according to the article titled "Among older Americans, Black and Hispanic people are much more likely to need help at home and go without it. Black and Hispanic older adults age 55 and above who need help with daily activities were consistently 1.5 times more likely to be without corresponding care support than older white adults. Sorry about that, and Hoffman found, yet they were no more likely than older white adults to receive paid help, instead relying heavily on family and friends. According to Floyd M. Wiley, Ph.D., studies of American blacks by sociologists and I will not even try to pronounce that word, have indicated blacks' wider acceptance of the extended family, including persons of older generations. Moreover, it is generally agreed that traditionally blacks accept old age and look forward to the rewards of advanced years. Indicates that older blacks are more likely to show high morale than older whites. Excuse me. Or according to a study, blacks perceive old age as a reward in itself, and they are less likely to deny their advanced age. Blacks' respect for their elderly and their greater acceptance of their own aging are seldom studied. Recommendations for social workers to use. According to USC School of Social Work, they have a program. This is their AAAE Culture Competency, I can't say that word, sorry, training for taking care of African American older adults. Acknowledge the importance and sorry, let me move this. The importance and impact of culture, history, differences, unique experiences, individuality, and expertise in one's own lives. Excesses. Clients, consumers, perspectives, beliefs, attitudes, cultural identity, strengths, assets, needs, and previous experience with mental health providers. Advocates for clients' consumers' needs, awareness and education, access to quality service, and supportive policies. Engage in clients' consumers using culturally competent methods. Participate in outreach strategies that are culturally relevant. Also, the second thing would be according to Health and Healthcare of African American older adults, providers have also been encouraged to examine the attitudes and stereotypes of older adults from different racial and ethnic populations, especially African Americans. And then, if you would like to take a minute, these are my references. Let me move this camera again. And then, our page. This camera one more time. And that is my slideshow. Thank you for watching.